Welcome back. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast. As usual, no actual official proper start, but I got homegirl Sam Grody here.
Hello.
So happy. The other half of the cult comedy show.
Yeah.
And I never met her. Well, I've met you in person, but we were saying before the show, I haven't hung out with you.
I know.
So it's nice to hang out, and work at the same time. It's part of my favorite part about the podcast. I said it before. It's the only thing where it's a complete fuck off. Like I would do this anyway.
Yeah.
But people comics are busy. I got to show this or that. But if you book them on the podcast, it's it's kind of like work. So I have to show up.
Yeah.
I'll get a clip or two out of this.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Hopefully we didn't burn all the good stuff. We were talking to Joe Bartnick for half an hour before the show, just trashing things we hate.
Yeah. No, we got a lot. There were during our conversation, I was just like, shit, that would have been funny to talk about on the podcast.
I'm sure we'll find something. If it was that easy before the cameras were on, it would
100%.
Be easy, on this thing. But that's one of my favorite things about complaining with other comics. We complain the best.
It
really is entertaining.
Well, a lot of us are Jews, so this is just how it goes. Professional at
Jews
it.
are good at complaining the way black people are good at sports. It's just natural.
It really is. It really is.
It's just a gift.
We're like we do take it to an athletic level.
Oh, I mean, if you're not complaining as a Jewish person, I don't think you're actually Jewish.
No.
It's passed in the genes, just like being 6'6" might be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Oh my God, speaking of 6'6", so I was telling you I'm newly pregnant. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I asked her before the show if she wanted to talk about it. She's like, I don't give a shit.
I don't. I feel like
it's new material. What the fuck?
It's new. So that's been the hard thing in shows is I just was like, I feel like I'm done with my material now. All I want to do is talk about my new stuff that's going on. And I joked at a New Year's Eve show. I was like, I'm going to need a guest list actually for all of these people because if I miscarry, I'm going to have to send out a notice.
It's like a wedding you call off. You gotta send another round of disinvitations. Sorry, guys.
But I've been dealing so much with pregnancy brain. And
what's that like? Is it hitting already? Do you feel pregnant?
I do. I'm pretty dumb to start with.
You don't seem dumb at all.
Are you
kidding? You're smarter than every actor I've ever met in this town.
Thank you.
It's not a high bar, but
yeah.
This town is resoundingly fucking retarded.
It really is. I think let me rephrase that. I don't think I'm dumb. I think I think so quickly. And I have so much on my mind all of the time that
it's
I'm
not fully thought out. You
I'm
don't
an
finish the
airhead
thought.
to a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very ADD. So to throw pregnancy on top of that is been ridiculous. So I've been having a lot of nausea. So I went to a
already?
Yes.
I thought you guys get a break for a little while. The first couple months you kind of
No, I think it's the first trimester is really bad. So I'm 9 weeks and I've been so sick, and at work I feel like people think I'm just hungover.
Or worse, they think you're bulimic in this town, right?
They're like, good for her.
She's getting ready for a shoot.
My mom would only be so happy.
Your mom. I've been trying to get you to lose weight, babe. Finally, you're
100%. Oh, so, and I went to acupuncture to see if that would help. And they're in there and they're like, how tall are you? And I was like, 6'5".
That matters for acupuncture?
I guess.
What the fuck what kind of question is that?
Right? I don't know. But of course I'm like, what else do you need to know?
Yeah, look at me. How tall do you think I am? I'm
how many times I've had sex? What do you need? And they're like, how
many partners have you had? What?
I don't. I guess you need to know.
Are you sexually active?
Yeah. Obviously.
You're not the Virgin Mary over here.
We don't need to call the Vatican for a manger and some hay, okay? I have a husband.
That's one of the jokes I never get to land on Christmas, and I always tell it. People get angry. When I was like, Christmas, where one woman's lie about her infidelity went way too far, and no one likes it.
I love it.
But it's true. I mean,
it's just,
come on.
Yeah,
it's
we
just
believe
true.
all women here, Randy. Fucking
Clip
great
it,
our
clip
Lord
it.
and Savior.
Believe all women.
We believe all women in second floor studios.
Oh, I love that so
Even
much.
a lying 14-year-old woman in Bethlehem. She was 14.
Was
by
she
the way.
14?
Oh, she was a child. Yeah, it's disturbing.
Oh, shit.
But if you actually read these religious books, it's fucking barbaric. It really is.
It really is. It's pretty disturbing.
It's not good. Jesus was the one exception. The New Testament, he was actually a decent guy.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the Bible
Well, he was
is
Jewish.
a fucking
Killed that
monster.
motherfucker.
Is a monster. Oh, they killed him quick. Yeah.
They did.
He's talking about treating each other well. Fuck
The
that
seasons
guy.
were
Kill him
about
now.
to get really boring.
Kill
You
him
know,
now.
like they were like, we gotta do
exactly.
a plot
You gotta
twist.
kill the main
yeah,
character to
everybody's
keep it
just happy.
interesting.
Yeah.
His best friend was a prostitute, which probably means he was a gay best friend. Let's be
Oh
honest.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Well, he also
You're
was
right.
unmarried at 33 when he died. It's like wait, back then you got married at like 12. You know,
Yeah.
like people got started early when you died
Yeah.
at 40.
What's
He was
wrong with you?
33.
You gay, bro?
He had 12 male friends. He hung out with the prostitutes. Didn't fuck them, but he hung out with them.
His
Yeah.
beard, baby.
Little weird.
They just all went to dinner together all the time.
Well, I also thought a great idea for a movie would be like teenage Jesus. Like the Bible skips from like him being 8 to 31 when he started preaching. I was like,
Yeah.
what was Jesus at 16?
Throwing those
he
wine
got caught
rages.
beating off by the Virgin Mary in the shed or whatever he was doing. Like, like,
I like in the scenario that he has a shed.
It's like I'm the son of God and just making
Yeah.
shit happen. They just skip over the weird years. I was like, I want a whole movie about the weird years. I want to know about 13-year-old Jesus.
I want to see him with acne and
Oh,
how
yeah.
he handles that.
Well, I want to know his workout routine. He's fucking shredded.
I mean,
Shredded. Also, I want to know how he's white when he's from Syria. He should be an Arabic guy.
well, maybe he's just spending too much time in the shed, just never sees any sun.
Okay, good point.
We don't know.
Albino.
Good point.
He's albino.
Oh.
He's
Well, also,
albino,
his
yeah.
mother, the Virgin, 3 random guys came up to congratulate her on the birth.
Could have been a traveler.
It
I
sounds
think,
like
I think those guys ran the train on her. They didn't know whose kid it was.
kind of sounds like Mamma Mia, to be honest. Like,
Mamma Mia.
are they all gonna start singing? We're gonna find out which one's the dad.
Yeah, just get weird about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also the only thing in movies where like guys compete to be the father. Usually guys compete not to be the father. I've watched Maury.
Yeah.
Usually it's like in the movies, like, no, I want to be the main female character's, main squeeze to be the father of her kid.
100%.
3 men and a baby. 3 men run from a baby.
Like, we're just all gonna take care of this thing together.
Yeah, we want to. I
Co-parent?
want to be dad. Fuck off. It's weird.
It's super weird.
That's why I like movies that don't end well. Because that's real life, or there's like no ending to
Yeah.
it. Like it's just open ended.
Yeah.
That's how life really works. There's no closure. Like you rarely get closure in life.
Yeah, there's not like a third, like there's the Old Testament, New Testament, and then there's nothing after that. Like I'd like
Well,
to.
the Quran. Yeah, but we're not on that page,
No.
which is bizarre. Like, oh, this is the last one and this one's the truth. I was like, the last 2 guys thought it was the truth. What the fuck makes you think?
What? Yeah,
Yeah,
sell
like-
me on this a little bit. Like, yeah, why is this one the
Yeah,
truth
why is this
now?
one the right
Yeah.
one? They had it wrong,
And
but
then
this
book,
one's right.
What's the Book of Mormon? What's that one?
Again, newer. That came up in like the 1880s.
Yeah.
There's like pictures of Joseph Smith. If there's pictures of your prophet, there's no
That
way
ain't it.
he's it's like David Koresh. I'm like, wait a minute, he's wearing Dahmer glasses. There's no way he's the son of God. Fuck off with this. That's how you know it's bullshit.
I do, though, for some reason, there's something in me when I see somebody wearing Dahmer glasses. I'm like, he's got something going on.
Well,
Like,
it came
he has
back
a
in style.
message for us.
It came back in style.
It did.
And also, I feel like that's a big thing in Hollywood. The more attractive you are, the uglier you try to make yourself.
Yeah.
So like it's like the really Matt Rifle wear the Dahmer glasses. It's like that guy's fucking gorgeous. Like
Yeah, like, stop
he
it.
can pull it off.
Like, stop it,
If I
Matt.
wore
Yeah.
Dahmer glasses, I'm getting fucking arrested and put on a.
I don't know. I just saw a vision and I'm kind of into
a
it.
sex offenders.
Kind of like it. I don't know. I want to try them now. the like yellow lens is also.
the tint. Those
the
are like
tint
mobster
is-
glasses. Bringing those back. You ever
Yeah.
see Casino? Those like the big
I
with
love
the
Casino.
with the shade. Oh,
yeah.
such a great.
I mean,
movie.
come on.
Such a
Like,
great movie.
10 out of 10 movie.
Martin
Sh-
Scorsese.
If I
Sharon
just wear
Stone.
smoke transitions around the office all day, every day, no one's gonna judge me.
Yeah.
Just gonna look old school.
Or you
I
can
like
or you can
it.
do the Diddy and just wear the dark shades everywhere because you're a creep.
I don't know. I used to smoke a lot of weed before getting pregnant.
For the
Actually,
pregnancy, one day before the pregnancy.
one
I
day,
stopped.
no. So the day I found out I was pregnant, the last thing I did was I bought a bunch of weed.
Well, no, I was going to ask you. So I'm sure you were pregnant before you found out.
Yeah.
How fucked up were you getting, and how long? Like, how pregnant were you when you found out you were pregnant? How many weeks?
I found out very early.
Still, it sure wasn't the day of.
It was not the day of.
Yeah.
But like that weekend, we had a couple friends that stayed at our house, and we had like a full on bender, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying.
And I was
it
like,
always happens. Like, oh my god, I found out I'm pregnant. Oh my god, I got so annihilated on ketamine last night.
so when we found
My
out, I
baby's
was
gonna
like,
be fucking.
"Fuck,
He's
this
gonna have
baby's
Down
not
syndrome because of me.
okay."
And you start like remembering. Like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah, because you don't know right away.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I'm a bad parent. Oh my
I'm
god,
so sorry.
it's not normal.
I thought I was really hungover.
Turns out I was just pregnant.
I was just fucking pregnant. And so I went to work the next day. Like after the last day of the bender, I went to work the next day and I'm like falling asleep at my desk. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to take a Ritalin and drink a Celsius. And like, usually I can just power fucking
Get the
through.
kid right on the ADHD
Yeah,
meds.
100%.
Start him early. Start him early.
It's the best. It's preventative.
You want to wean him onto it. You don't want to shock
Exactly.
the system at 6 years old.
No.
You want to get him 6 weeks in utero. You really
100%. This is science.
ease him into it.
Yeah, we're
you
not
know?
just comedians here. We're scientists.
Yeah. We trust the science.
We do. And so I was like, fuck, like I'll just be able to power through. And that's usually like my go-to combination. And I'm still like nodding off at my desk. And I'm like, I got to close my eyes for 10 minutes.
Oh, you fell asleep at work?
I fell asleep at work and I was like, I'll just close my eyes for 10 minutes. And I went upstairs. I work for my family business and I was in my dad's office and there was nowhere to lay down except his German Shepherd's bed.
That is almost even sadder.
It was really sad. And so then I like see the bed and I'm like, I gotta do it.
Although it's probably the better place to hide because if your dad's not in the office that day, no one else is going to go to the big boss's office.
100%.
Like, they'll come into your office. Yeah,
he wasn't there.
Yeah, they'll come into your office. But if you're sleeping, no one goes to the big boss office.
No one's
He's
going
not
in
there.
that office. Yeah, no one was upstairs that
They'd be
day.
afraid to go in. Like, don't touch my shit.
Exactly. So like I set a timer for 10 minutes. I fell asleep for an hour and a half. And I woke up, I was laying like the dog.
Just covered in
I
dog
was just
hair.
Like this, and I woke up and I was like,
You had a bone in your mouth and she's like, what the fuck happened? Like,
drooling. I called my husband and I was like, something's wrong. Like, I don't nap in general. Like, what the fuck?
that's so funny. You think something's wrong. It's like, yeah, it turns out I'm pregnant. You thought you were sick.
I thought I was sick. So then like after work, I was like, I'm just going to go buy weed. I'll go home.
That's what I do when I'm sick.
I'll smoke. I'll just get a little high. Like I'll just drink water, take a bath, and like get a good night's sleep, and everything will be fine. And then I get home and I was like, maybe I should take a pregnancy test.
What made you think that? You're like, oh, he didn't pull out that one night.
So we weren't.
I've been irregular about my birth control.
We weren't not
Like,
trying.
Okay.
I just didn't think it would happen the first time. You know?
Oh, that's how I feel like that catches everybody.
Well, I mean, we're older and like we're not the healthiest of people, as we just discussed.
That's when it happens. I feel like people that are trying, it doesn't happen for. And people are like, we're not
Yeah.
trying. We're just going to see what happens. And immediately, it's almost like God punishes you.
Well, then I forgot that my
like for thinking you have time. It's like, no, you don't have no fucking time.
you have no time. Well, I forgot my husband's Bolivian, and I was like, that fucking Latin sperm. Like,
What? A FaceTime will get you pregnant.
yeah,
with
he
with
just like
that-
looked at me, and my uterus was like ready. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, yeah.
This is not right. But so we have a 24-year-old blue and gold macaw parrot, and I wanted to take a
Oh my God, what are you fucking, what's his name? The Tiger King?
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. It's the weirdest thing ever. We'll get into it. But what tipped me off to take a pregnancy test was he was being an asshole to me. And he's my bird. Like, I've had him since I was 10 years
So
old.
the bird sense gave it away.
And he was being a dick. And like, I came home that day and he bit me again. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. And then I was like, I'm going to take a pregnancy test.
Can he
Yeah,
speak? He's
he
like,
can.
you're pregnant, cunt. No.
Whore.
Whore. Whore.
I get heckled by him.
Because the bird's
all-
watching you during sex. He's just on the purge.
Bro, he knows. He knows. It's really upsetting. It's like, it's really upsetting.
First kid, though, you want a boy or girl? What do you prefer? Or do you care?
I just want them healthy.
That's what everybody says, but people have preferences. Come on now.
I really don't.
So who's the bigger asshole in the relationship?
Between me and the bird or my husband?
Well, obviously the bird. Between you and your husband.
Who's the bigger asshole? Like in what way?
Like who is the more self-involved one? Because I feel like of the two parents, the first child is always it's like penance for the bigger asshole in the group. Like, if I were to have a kid, it would absolutely be a woman to spite me. You're like,
Okay, so
this is how you think. This is how you've treated women in your past. Now you have a daughter, cocksucker. Like,
I thought for the longest
I gotta
time-
suffer through this.
exactly. Well, I think God gives you what you
Well,
deserve.
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Retribution exists in the heavens.
That's why God gave me small tits, because he knew I'd be too powerful.
much?
Yeah, and now I have them, and I'm really excited. And like, so Lori, big
Yeah.
tits, and she's like, relax, like you just graduated from an A cup, fucking chill. I'm like, no, but they're amazing. Anyways, I feel like God's going to give us a girl because he wants a boy so badly.
Exactly. No, yeah. What you want is not what you get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I would be happy with either. I would love one of each. So whichever one comes first is
you're gonna
fine.
go two, huh?
Max, because
Yeah.
then at that point, then the third one, what do you do? Pick which one goes to college?
Yeah, no,
I'm
you
Jewish.
gotta
They're not
play
going to
man
get his
defense on
athletic
kids.
scholarship.
I'm a big believer in that. If you're gonna have kids,
Yeah.
3 is a lot. 4 is impossible.
Yeah.
You don't want to go from man defense to zone. Because you lose track of one.
No.
Of them.
No.
One of them becomes, where the fuck is that one? Like,
Yeah.
If college still exists by the time your kids are doing it, we fucked up.
oh, I mean,
That's
it'll
a really
exist,
good
but who knows
point.
what it's going to be?
That's a really good point.
It's a racket.
It
It's
is.
a total racket. I
It
mean,
really
I got a
is.
degree, and it was helpful. But
I
it's
got a
certainly-
degree too, and I still
but-
ended up a comic.
And we're
That's
all
what-
in the same
no,
damn room.
Exactly. But also, no one's ever asked me after I graduated from college to prove that I graduated.
Nope.
No one's ever, hey, produce your transcript or your diploma.
Nope.
I was like, I could have just lied. Like, literally, no one has asked me to prove that I went to college.
No.
So why the fuck did I go through all that? Like,
And if somebody did,
I
you could
could've just
so
said it.
easily make it up.
yeah, I could have just
Yeah.
said the shit. Like, what? It's useless. Unless you're a doctor, then you know.
Well,
then it's important.
The way our country's getting, you'd probably be like, well, that's my personal information that you're not privileged to because that would
Unless
be
it's TikTok, then you can have all my
violating-
information.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I don't. Well, I feel like I guess if you end up in like a respectable career, then people ask you where you went to school. But what is a respectable career now? Like Google?
Yeah, you work at Facebook. Yeah. I'm
I don't
an
know.
engineer.
My sister worked for Google for a long time. People would be like, "Oh, what'd she do at Google?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, she makes the internet. Like, smart people shit. No one knows what they do at Google.
Most people's jobs.
All I know is
you
they
can't
have a
explain.
campus. Like, what is
Most people can't explain their jobs.
No.
Yeah, I work in marketing. What does that mean?
market stuff?
I'm in finance. What do you do? It's like, I trade
Money?
credit default swaps. What?
Yeah.
I gamble with other people's money. Oh.
Oh, yeah. It's actually fairly
interesting.
illegal. Like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, we were talking about your sales job. At least
Yeah.
that you understand. 'Cause you have like an old school sales job, selling cars. Like that
Yeah.
is people know that. Like that's like a known thing. It's like saying you're a plumber or
Yeah.
electrician. Like you actually, it's easy to understand.
It's such an old school job. It almost feels biblical.
Well, how does it still exist? Like car sale. I mean, they sell everything on the internet now, and they
Yeah.
sell cars on the internet. But still, car dealerships have sales. Like it's one of those things. It's like garbage men. You're never gonna get rid of it. Like, there's
Well,
so
the
many
way-
cars to be sold, and
The
so
way
many
the
deals.
laws are right now, too. So it's like Tesla's able to do what they do for whatever reason. But
Yeah, bribery. We all know why.
I mean,
Yeah, you
you
got
said
no money.
it.
Yeah,
Like you can't just slash fucking window sticker prices, but whatever. I guess he can.
You can also just disable their car remotely. It's like what? Wait a minute.
Terrifying.
Right?
Fucking terrifying. So I had a customer call in and he goes, "I want a car, but I don't want any of the crap on it." And I'm like,
What does that mean? Yeah.
"What does that mean?" And he's like, "I don't want a black box in the car." And I was like, "It's not a plane, sir. Like, the thing's not going to crash or we're going
What
to
do you
hear
think
like,
you're the fucking NSA?
Yeah.
You bugged his car. It's like,
He goes-
we don't even know who you are, man. You're not that important.
So
Like,
he- So
who are you, fucking John Gotti? Like,
it was slow that day, so I was like, I'll bite. I spent 45 minutes on the phone with this guy, and he's like an ex-judge in Orange County, and he was right about a lot of stuff. They can track if you have any type of GPS
Oh, yeah, I
in
found
your
that
car.
out. Yeah.
They can fucking track you.
Yeah.
And then I get all
The insurance company
paranoid.
can figure out how fast you're driving, how hard you're stopping, so your
Yeah.
rates will get fucked up. That's like a new thing in the last few years.
Yeah.
That people don't know they're signing up for.
100%.
Because you have OnStar in there, but they made a separate deal. Hyundai made a separate deal with, State Farm to sell your accelerator
all the information.
Yeah.
I drive a Mach-E, which is the electric Mustang. And so it knows when I'm like not watching the road, and I'm like,
It's tracking your fucking eyes.
it's tracking my fucking eyes. Like, which means it knows everything else I've done in that car.
What have you done in the car?
It's LA.
It knows everything else I've done in that
It's
car.
LA. Like, we've all done, like, we live in our cars.
Yeah. I mean, probably the worst thing I've done in my car.
I got a big
is shout out-
imagination, though, so if you could elaborate on what you've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
in your car.
Talk slower and describe it in graphic detail, please, Sam. Hang on, I'm getting hard.
I change in my car all of the time.
Oh yeah, probably the worst thing I've done in my car is sing along to a song and say words.
Okay, well, I
shouldn't- the
sing.
N-word, like-
I sing quite a bit
You know.
to some.
or pick my nose. But I do that in public. I don't give a shit.
I don't do that in public. I'm
No.
a lady, but I do that in my car. That's my time. Like, that's my business.
That's the other thing about. I was joking about people like, there's so much racism in America. I'm like, buddy, you also have a moment. No one's racist all the time.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been times in your car you got cut off. You're like, this fucking Asian lady.
It's a fucking Asian. I know it. I know it's an
You're
Asian.
pounding your dashboard. You're like,
Oh my God.
I'm sure if I had a fucking.
So-
if Siri was in there and she recorded it, we could get you on something.
I hope we can cut this, but I do have to tell you.
I'll cut whatever you want.
In the car business, we call Asians neck weeks.
What's a neck week?
We come back neck week. I bring my checkbook.
We don't have to cut that. I'll one up you. So when I was a kid, my father, who's from the Dominican Republic, who's an immigrant to this country, easily the most racist person I've ever met in my life. My father, himself, not even white, but also
so racist.
Yeah. So anytime we were driving and like he had to swerve because someone did something fucked up, he'd like try and get close to him, like to get a look at their face out of anger. It's like I bet it's a woman or an Asian lady, a woman or an Asian, and it's like an Asian lady. He's like, I told you. My dad, you're not even legally here.
Yeah, no, that's
you're not the person to cast aspersion on these people.
My husband's families. They all immigrated from Bolivia. A lot of them recently, and they're all not all of them, but pretty racist.
Oh well, the thing is, to them, it's not even racism; it's just life. What
a privilege it is
Bolivians
for them.
Look
they
down
get
their nose
to
at Mexicans because they're taking their jobs, and I'm like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like like a white college graduate. Like Mexicans aren't taking their job.
No.
But a Bolivian who just got here, they're taking his fucking job.
What a privilege it is to be like. I don't have the privilege to be racist.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. When you have real problems,
Yeah, because I don't have real problems. It's not. It's not
it really
fair.
is nice to worry about where transgender people are going to the bathroom. It's like, what? I got to make rent. Like,
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Like, I got 3 mouths to feed. I can't worry about who's pissing where.
I just wish I could be racist and like not get in trouble for it.
You know what I really long for? The days when there was still white on white racism. I'm that old. In the 80s when
that Easter Island shit.
Yeah, there were those different whites.
I grew up in
where
Orange
the Irish
County.
would call the Polish Polacks.
The Poles.
Yeah, all these fucking Poles over here.
Yeah.
Oh, these WAP bastards, these WAP Guinea bastards. Like, what? White on white racism? It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
It does in different ways.
Except for Jews. They still somehow get it.
The Jew, well, yeah.
They're white when people want them white, and then they're Jewish when people want them Jewish. I'm like,
Well, we're the best. We're the best scapegoats.
Oh, yeah, the easy.
Which I recently learned. So my husband and I were in an argument, and he goes, "Don't use me as an scapegoat." I was like, "What?"
That is so definitively Latin. That's how my dad would say the same kind of shit.
And I was like, a what? And he goes, "Don't use me as an scapegoat." And I was like, "What? No, that's not this. It's scapegoat." And he goes, "No, I'm pretty sure about this." And I was like,
He doubled
"No."
down. He corrected you? He's like, no, I know.
I was like, to get out of this, I'm riding a goat to escape? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
How long has he been here?
Since he came here when he was 8, and then he went back, and then came back when he was 16.
Double dipped. Is English pretty good?
Really, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's impressive.
I need to learn Spanish. Like, it's time. Like, our kids should learn Spanish. I want them to be bilingual.
Guys like your husband, people who immigrate here, they not only can they speak their native language and some English. Yeah. I bet he worked, in a kitchen and can speak fucking Japanese. They just pick up another language like it's.
Well, yeah. I mean,
could you imagine doing the reverse? I couldn't go to Bolivia. I couldn't go to Bolivia and make a life.
No.
I think
about that all the time.
I couldn't just go there with nothing and I'm gonna go ahead and become a citizen of this country.
I think about that all of the time. Even so,
it's an impossible reverse situation.
Think about it this way too. Like, I see a lot of people come in to buy a car, and they barely know English. They haven't been in the country for that long, and I just have the utmost respect for them because that's so fucking hard.
Oh yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine. I could not.
It's an impossible reverse situation in a weird way. But the selling of the cars thing is fun because the belly to belly sales, you really get to know people. And I bet too, I bet everyone comes in thinking the used car salesman is going to fuck them.
It's like the last industry.
And you're like, I've seen this guy, the know-it-all comes in, and you just tap dance around him or whatever kind of thing. But also, if you're just straight up about what you want, it's hard for them to fuck you if you just direct. It's when you're wishy-washy. It's like, I want it in black. Well, we have it in white. No. Like I want it in the thing.
It's kind of hard to take advantage of customers. COVID was pretty bad, I think, for certain dealerships. There were market adjustments on stuff, add-ons, stuff like that. But now everything's at sticker. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. There's so much market efficiency. But also, we were talking about it before about how, you were telling me that one of your coworkers was like, oh, why don't you, upsell them on the X, Y, or Z? It's like, well, I want to sell them into the next car and the next car and the next car to trade in. Like, I might make another $1,500 on this deal, but I'm going to miss the $7,000 for the next 3 times he comes and buys a fucking car.
Yeah, that's short-term thinking.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous thinking. in some ways, that's part of my problem with the way the world works now. People don't think long enough ahead. It's like,
No.
I'm going to take this last nickel now. It's like, wait a minute. You could, growing up, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood in New York, and the mob had a saying. It's like, you could slaughter a pig once, but you can bleed it for life.
Did you grow up around the mob a lot?
New York City, in the 80s, 90s, they were around. Yeah. And I'm not Italian, so, I lived it, like, we moved in the same neighborhood in Queens, but we moved from, like, the Hispanic side to the Italian side, which was like a big move. It's like, this is the better side of town.
Shit.
And, those guys had... You could argue with the fact that, like, organized crime is bad. It's like, well, crime's going to happen anyway. I'd rather it be organized than disorganized. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys at least had a code. Like you knew where you
plan.
stood. You knew where you stood.
You could get out of the way.
Like I said, they didn't. The mob never missed on a hit. There was never a drive-by shooting where a kid got killed in a mafia killing.
100%.
It was two pills in the back of the head and the guy disappeared. That was it.
That is a really good point.
It's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
And these people had like a weird code about it, but that was one of their things. Like, people think like, oh, I owe them mob money, they're going to kill me. It's like, you can't pay if they kill you. Like, no, they're just going to take your business. Like, like they want you alive.
They're going to take your business and marry your daughter.
Yeah, they're like banks now.
100%.
That's actually how the mob got ended because the government took over all their rackets. Booze became legal again. We're selling weed now legally in the country. Gambling's legal. The lottery used to be illegal. Now it's legal, like state lotteries.
Oh my God, the lottery.
Yeah, that's actually a poor tax, which is fascinating.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Because no one worth $1 billion plays lottery. It's only an asshole who has two nickels rubbed together spends one of them on a lottery ticket.
We have people at work love scratchers, and I'm like, why are you?
Wow, that is so white trash. I wouldn't think people at a dealership, salespeople wouldn't.
Well, I think it's like so. I think a lot of salespeopeople have addiction.
They're gamblers. A lot of gamblers, drinkers, big drinkers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impulsive people.
Yes. And so that you get a little hit of serotonin when you're like scratching the ticket, like maybe, and then no. Yeah. Like it's just, I don't know.
Well, that's the cool thing about sales though too. Like it's also, because you said you worked in finance, I worked in finance for a while. The rigidity of finance, like every day is this, like you're in sales, like, if you don't want to work today, you're not getting a commission, but it's on you.
Yeah.
So you kind of sort of settle your schedule a little bit more. But that's also part of the problem because if you're really good at what you do, then you create a problem. And if you're really good at what you do, despite having done things that you should have been fired for, they just won't let you go. I know more sales guys that should have had fucking lawsuits against them, but the company covered it up and said, hey, he fucking earned $250,000 for us last semester. Last month.
He fucking sells 20 cars a month.
Exactly,
like, what are we supposed to do?
He made $4 million for us last year.
Yeah.
We can't get rid of him. Like,
we have had a few guys like that for sure. And like, I've looked at it and I'm like, how does he still work here? And then it's like, oh, well.
Yeah. Well, those guys are the most interesting because they're so erratic and
can't control them.
Yeah, they're also like you show up like that, like you just fucking, like they show up fucking high or like disheveled. Like what? Like, how do people like you, but somehow they still sell? Like,
well, I grew up.
Like, how do you get along with other people with your behavior?
It's insane. I grew up so our dealership at the time was across from a strip club.
Oh my God.
And so
you guys were out by the airport. What the fuck?
Right? No, I knew about. You
guys were in an industrial zone.
Yeah, I
next to a gay bathhouse and a strip joint.
It was it just and I remember like the guys would just like go to a strip club for lunch. Like,
I bet they sold a ton of cars to those gals.
Yeah, and
I'll give you a deal if you wash my piece back here.
But I love that they the work ethic though. Like, thanks, baby. Like, I got to go back to work. Like, you go back to work after that.
Well,
like, you
they
party
have to
a
afford
little.
The strip joint. They got to pay their tab.
So we still
I got to sell this Dodge fucking Ram to pay what I owe.
So we still have one guy that like regularly goes to strip clubs, and
that's
on the Friday we do Friday morning meetings.
He does lunch at the strip joint.
So we do Friday morning meetings, and they give out bonuses, and so they like joke. They're like, "Do you want your bonuses in ones? Because like we just have 20s right now." Like he's got it.
He's like, giving him stacks of ones.
Yeah, like I mean, this guy's probably single-handedly supporting like 4 women right now.
Oh my God, that's the regular at the strip joint is always a little weird to me.
Right.
Especially like the daytime regular. It's like you're there at your lunch break.
I'm sorry, like the daytime, and what do the daytime shift strippers look like? You know what I mean? Because like they didn't make the audition.
No. Well, they're not giving the prime spot. You know,
Yeah.
like that's, you're pulling up the C team.
Those are open micers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah, but I bet your dog goes a long way at noon as opposed to midnight.
100%.
They're probably getting a lot out of that dollar. I don't know, Mike. You look like a noon.
They look like compassion and understanding. That's what I know.
I was gonna say you like a daytime strip joint kind of guy. What's it like?
They're nice ladies.
They really listen. They're good at listening. I stopped going to my therapist because she was so great.
They're just looking for someone to pay so they can sit down. Their ankles are sore.
They just want to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a gentleman.
Yeah,
I can tell.
It's like they're just past their years. It's just the B crew. Like they had their time in the spotlight. Now
And
it's
you can
daytime.
tell. You can tell.
They're
like,
coming back.
A lot of spotlight, and now it's not as much.
Have you been to a strip joint?
I have.
Here in LA or elsewhere?
I went to a strip club. I won't name the comic, but we were
That bad, huh? Okay.
I've been to a few, but we were in Vegas, and we went to like an off strip club, like off the strip.
Those are the best.
So it's like all nude,
Those are the best.
and it was like
You don't want to go to the best strip club in town. You
no,
want
you want
to go to the biggest dump. You
We
can
went
find.
to like a real. It was the real deal.
You should feel unsafe. Because that's when it gets interesting.
You should feel like when they let you off in front of it, you're like, are we
in the right spot? Yeah.
this street's not lit. Like this doesn't feel
Yeah,
safe.
are we at the central booking bailing somebody out? What the fuck?
What's happening?
Yeah.
And so I was with my friends and two of my girlfriends, and I was like, you guys, like, he's
Just
gonna
three ladies?
well, and then
okay.
the male comic, and I'm like, you guys, he's gonna come pick us up, and they were like, is it a limo? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And like we're like waiting, and like limo goes by, and they're like, is that us? And I'm like, no. And
He
then
shows
like
up one of those
this
little scooters,
short
the
little
lime scooters.
this like short little fucking bus pulls up, and he pops his head out the window, and he's like, come on, ladies. And I was like, that's us.
Oh, so you were just getting picked up at the strip joint.
No, we were getting picked up from our hotel to go.
Oh, to go. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. So you went to the strip joint to meet him, and he had girls in the truck already? Like,
Right.
he went around back, grabbed
Yeah.
the girls, like, oh no, we got the bus.
We need more room. So we get there, and so then I'm looking at this, and I'm like, God, these ladies are beautiful, like so athletic, like.
They are. Yeah, they are.
And
pretty
as
good
somebody,
dancers, yeah.
I have no core strength, like I'm just watching these girls, like, God damn, like you are strong. Like I could even months of Pilates, I could never. What an art. What an art. And so then I'm like, let's get cash. Like I want to pay these girls. So
out of guilt.
we're in the front row.
That's how it all starts.
Oh,
how it all starts.
It's called Sniffers Row.
I did not. So we're the sniffers. I felt like we were feeding the dolphins. Like, you know at SeaWorld when they're like, okay, it's feeding time. And we like went to the ATM, got a ton of cash.
You're like the petting zoo.
We're the fucking petting zoo. And so we're sitting in the front row, and I'm like, yeah, like just like paying them. And then at the end of this one lady's dance, she's crawling to like pick up the cash. And I was like,
Trying to do it sexy.
I was like, oh, honey, here, I'll help you. And the guy was like, they're supposed to do that. And I was like, oh.
Their pimp fucking bouncer.
And then that's when this like illusion for me broke, that I felt like these were like empowered women.
Oh yeah.
That were like making a buck, and I'm like, you just ruined it for me.
Yeah,
like
they got a
now
little
I
gritty.
want to go home.
Wait a minute, their taskmaster told you don't help the fucking pigs in the trough. I was like, whoa.
100%. That's what happened. And I looked at my friend and I was like, did you hear that? She's like, yeah.
Dude, how fucking wild would it be if, like, as comics, when you're on stage doing your set, they throw ones at you if they like the joke?
I think they should. We do.
How great
like,
would that be? That's like you start a show and that's the theme. If you like the joke, as you laugh, just throw money at them.
Or just Venmo me. Like, just fucking, I would love to get paid more for this.
We're going to take at the club all the money for the night that we're going to pay all the comics. And we're going to give it in ones to the audience. And they get to throw it up there for what they like. They don't get to leave with any of it. But whoever gets the most money,
Just making it rain in the middle of my closer.
Gets 5 more minutes on the next show. Like,
well, no, they just made the most money that night.
Just making it rain in the middle of your closer. Just fucking.
I think that should happen.
That
would be a great concept for a show.
And you also need a theme nowadays for every fucking show, it seems like.
I hate theme shows. I fucking hate
like,
theme shows.
These are the Asian comics of Southern California.
Yeah.
You know how quickly that comedy show turns into an OnlyFans comedy show? Someone wants that money a little more than the next person, and it's no longer fun and jokes. It's
No.
Yeah, then
titties are coming out. Someone's going to win. Some guy's going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
The OnlyFans. How come you don't have an OnlyFans? You got to kill them the way you should have one. I'm kidding.
I should have. I mean, I should. So I thought about it for a long time.
Really?
I wanted to have an OnlyFeets.
That's the best way to do it.
Do you know what I mean?
Not showing your face.
Just feet. And have it be like, not that like, I don't know if I have like nice feet. I just think they're like normal feet. But like people are fucking weird about feet.
But you don't know. That's the thing.
You don't know.
Finding a gimmick.
And I wanted to have like that. But I wanted to run the app. Like I wanted to be like, be like the madam of feet.
We talked about that. Yeah, like how do I become like? There's no union for OnlyFans girls. How do I become a union organizer?
And like, wouldn't it be nice if it was a woman? And like,
it would make more sense. It'd be like a male gynecologist with a female gynecologist. Like,
exactly.
Like, why are you here, creep? But as a woman, you're like, oh, I get it.
I get it. You have one too. Like that was funny when
madam is way more acceptable than a pimp. You know, there's
100%.
There's something gross about a man selling women, but another woman selling women is like, oh, she's empowered.
It's really just another relationship with your mother, like, which is always fucked up. God.
Yeah, what's the difference between a dowry and a madam?
I'm just saying.
Getting paid all at once.
I'm just saying. Like, and your mom's harsh on you. Like, your mom's...
Well, I mean, you told me you were Jewish, so I'm sure your mother was...
Oh, God. My mom...
a battle axe with you. Do you guys get along now?
Yeah, we did. But
How long did it take?
I was terrible at her when I was a
teenager. Well into your 30s before you guys reconciled?
Probably, like, college. But I was terrible at her when I was a teenager. Terrible. Was
she terrible to you, I bet?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. We hated each other. She told me once, she was like, I fucking hate you. And I was like, I feel like... I mean, I'm pretty shitty, but I feel like you're not supposed to get that.
I mean, as mean as men can be to women, I've never met... Most men are way better women than other women. Other women are brutal to each other. They're so like vindictive, and they go for like something that really hurts your heart. You know, like they really try to get at your fucking soft spot and just poke you in it. You know, it's real fucked up.
It's in our DNA somehow. We're able to, because we don't have physical strength. Like we will crush you with our rhetoric.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got what you got. You have to win the war of words because you don't.
We got to shut you down somehow.
Weapon, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Yeah, women will shut a guy down in an argument. Like, you're acting like your father. It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What did I do?
What?
Oh, my husband told me that actually. So I tried so hard not to become my mother that I didn't see my father coming up behind me in my rearview mirror, and I'm so much like my dad. And we were having like a disagreement on something. He's like, you just sounded exactly like you went full Ken. And I'm like, fuck. Like that was so hurtful. Yes.
Is your mom named Barbie? It is very
right.
Southern
That would
California.
be really nice. Her name's Stephanie. She's also brutal. I've been struggling with morning sickness, and I called her and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And she goes, oh honey, I thought about aborting you all the time. I was like,
all the time, like
every time I saw a staircase.
Every time I went to the closet and saw a hanger.
Every time.
How many times? I thought you.
So I was like,
it's either yes or no.
And it was my bad. I feel like other people, like listeners out there, have a mom where it's like you call them and you know it's 50-50. Like it's either like 50% chance they're going to make you feel great or 50% chance like it's.
Well, that's what family's
for.
A lot worse. Either lift you up or knock you the fuck down.
And I gambled.
Keep you back on earth. Yeah.
So I hang up. I call my sister and I'm like, Mom just told me she wanted to abort me several times, and she goes, she's never told you that before. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, she's told me that at least a dozen times about me too. Like, she wanted to abort all of us.
Yeah, it's like I almost wasn't here. Like,
that's ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
But it sounds like you guys got to. You were telling me about how you got together with your husband. It sounds like he's in the family now, though. They accept him.
They love him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they love him so much. Hump, well, I think it's really hard to dislike my husband. He's just like genuinely, I can't say enough. Like he's just a really good person. Like
yeah, but that doesn't mean
really,
your parents like him.
But it's hard to not like. He's just like when everybody that's around him, like he just kind of puts you at ease. Like he's a very calming energy, and he's just like genuine good guy. Like you can see he's got a good heart, and also he makes me really happy. So like when your family sees, like I think they saw a change in me.
Yeah.
And so for them, that was like, okay, like we can't not like this guy.
Yeah, that's the thing about a loving family. Even if you guys don't get along with each other, if they see you happy, they want you to be happy.
Exactly.
And they'll get over whatever their bullshit is.
Yeah.
If they see that you're happy in the thing.
And I think like for them, like the first time they saw us together, it was like, all right, well, fuck. Like,
yeah. Who was harder to win over, your mom or your dad, your husband?
I thought it would be my dad, but it was my mom.
I found that to be the case too in a lot of my relationships. Like, it's, the father-daughter thing they talk about.
Yeah.
And I feel like dads, because I'm self-sufficient and I could stand on my own 2 feet. So they're like, all right, moms be like, well, what's his fucking problem? Why doesn't he need my advice? It's like, well, because I don't need anyone's advice.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's a grown man. Yeah,
but moms want to like turn you into their surrogate son kind of thing. Like they want you to need them the same way they want their own children to need them.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, and I think So my mom, I think, though, it wasn't necessarily... what was harder for her was that I kept the relationship a secret for a year.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't that, like, it was hard for her to like him. It was just, it was hard for her to get past. I made a decision on my own without them in private.
Yeah. And she didn't like being cut out of the decision-making process?
Correct. Yeah. So when we got married, it was her wedding. I'm really happy for her. Yeah. She made a lot of the choices. It was so special.
That's so weird about weddings, man. People love to get into, tell you how to do your wedding. I almost had one. I was like, what the fuck are these people chiming in on this bullshit for? I thought it was our day. I didn't know it was your fucking Aunt Lucy's
it becomes
day.
about everybody else.
It really is.
And even the people are like, we want you to be happy. This is about you. And I'm like, is it though? Like, is it?
Yeah, I was happy when I met him. I'm good.
And I knew, like, the second we got engaged, like that night we got engaged, I was like, should we just go get married now? Like, let's just like.
Yeah, the little elope. Do you have like a big wedding kind of thing?
We had a big wedding.
Well, how many people are we talking about here?
150.
That's pretty big these days.
It felt big to me.
Yeah.
It felt
small
big
for a Jewish wedding though.
Yes.
Because a lot of times it becomes a business thing. It's like, Dad's got to bring this song.
Well, there was a lot of
everyone, like, my daughter's better than yours because she's married, yours is still unmarried. That kind of thing, like flexing on the neighbors, bullshit.
No, that's it. There was a little bit of that for sure.
And your mom invited her enemies to your wedding just to prove to them that her kids are doing well.
Oh God, no! It was
I hate that bitch Ethel, but she's coming to the wedding.
She's fucking coming. Yeah.
I wanted to see my daughter's.
You're losing weight right
and look,
before
we're paying
this.
$250 a head. We got money. We're doing good over here.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I wouldn't do it again.
The wedding or the marriage?
The wedding. The wedding. Like,
what part? Or your parents?
Yeah, just the wedding. Like, I don't, anybody that like.
Well, it's a big racket. It's like,
it is
like $50,000 for one day.
So
like,
this is my thing. Like, the entire planning process, I was like, but people in cars are assholes. Like, we're scheming and like ripping people off. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God, dude! They'll charge you if you tell them it's for your birthday. The cake costs $300. For a wedding, it's $1,200. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
why?
Yeah,
like why?
What kind of bullshit is this? Yeah.
I wanted to tell them, like,
it's like funerals because they know it's like there's a emotional component to it, so they know they could just fuck with you on that. It's like pets. There's a reason why people will pay anything to save their pet's life, or pay extra for dog food, even though it's just dog food. Because it becomes part of the family. They basically pull on the fact that you have an emotional attachment to this because it has this name.
Have you ever had to take an animal to the vet?
Oh yeah, I've spent a lot of money on fucking vet bills.
And you get there and they're like, if we have to take life-saving precautions, is that okay? And it's like, yes, of course that's okay. And then they come back and they're like, so it turns out we had to do that. It was $5,000. And you're like, fuck yourself.
Dude,
like,
I left my I had a dog years ago, and I had to go to the emergency room in New York. $1,800 a night. $1,800 a night, and he was in a crate. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I feel like, I mean, that's like a resort.
Yeah,
you're like, I've never even stayed at a resort
in Malibu.
And you
what am I doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I can't.
And I literally walked in, it's just a metal crate. I'm like, I could have fucking left him in my apartment like this. Like, what?
I have the worst vet story. So I do a lot of rescue, accidental rescue.
It's like fostering, or
animals find me somehow, and I end up saving them. So there was one cat at work that had like 3 litters of kittens. And after the 3rd litter, I got her fixed, and then she lives with us now. She's amazing. But there was the last litter she had, one of the kittens was really not doing well. Okay. And so I rushed him to the vet, really, really tiny, like maybe a couple days old. And I like had him like in my sweater to like skin to skin, to like try to keep him warm. And as I'm on my way to the vet, like I felt it take its last breath. Oh. But I'm like, fuck, let's just see. So I like get up there, rush, and I'm like, here it is. Like, do everything you can. Vet comes out 5 minutes later, and they're like, we did everything that we could. So that's gonna be $4,500.
You brought in the cat dead, and they just confirmed it was dead. And they charged you $4,500 fucking dollars.
I was like, walk me through.
Yeah.
This $4,500, Dr. Stephanie.
Yeah, who saw him? Dr. Phil? Like, what the fuck happened back there?
Also, by the way, why do vets go by their first name? Like, it sounds like a porn. Like, why can't you just be Dr. Stephanie? Like, Jesus, like, aren't you a professional? Use your last name if you're going to charge me $4,500. Do you know what I mean?
It's like a captain of a cruise ship in Florida,
yeah, like,
Captain Brian. What the fuck?
Captain Brian, yeah, and like his hat sideways. Like, It's just too much. So
especially when they ask you for $4,500 fucking dollars.
So she goes through and she's like, we gave him an IV. We did resuscitation. I was like, he was back there for 5 minutes.
Also, you brought him in dead.
Yes.
They confirmed he was dead. How?
All you did was you
checked the pulse on a cat, and they're like, "That's $4,500."
It's dead. And so then I'm like, oh, like fuck you, Dr. Stephanie. I hate you. So then I go to check out, and the receptionist, she goes, "I'm so sorry for your loss." And I was like, I literally just met the guy. Like, I
found it on the street.
Literally found it on the street. Like, I was trying to be a good citizen, and now I'm a fucking asshole getting raked over the coals for like the cost of this. And she goes, I'm so sorry to hear that. You can tell she's like almost reading off of a script, right?
Yeah, she's playing the fake sympathy bullshit that she always does. She put on her sympathy voice.
So then she pulls out a binder and she's like, these are some of our earn options. They start in the 300 range, but they go, if you want something a little bit nicer, they go all the way up to 1,500. And I looked at her
$1,500 earn.
And I was like, do you like your job?
Yeah, do you get 20% if you sell me this bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on
here? Like,
here?
what is happening? I'm like, I don't care. And I think I ruined her that day because I was like, I don't care if you throw it in the dumpster. Like, what the
She thought it was your actual cat. No, I just found this fucking thing.
I literally I found it.
I was going to call animal control, but you guys were close by. So
this was the closest option. I thought you guys saved lives here, but turns out it's just like a money laundering scheme. I don't know what's going on.
Totally. I mean, it's just another way to make a buck, you know. But enough about death. Let's talk about
life.
Now
they've gotten to pet insurance too. So.
Pet insurance is a great racket.
Yeah, and most pet insurance companies that seem to start, they only stay in business for like 10 years. So it's like they approve all of these puppies.
Yeah.
And then by the time the puppies are 9 or 10,
they claim bankruptcy and start a new company.
Well, once they get old, then they cancel their policy. It's like the fucking fires.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're about to have a fire. We should cancel these policies.
Yeah, fire season's coming.
Your dog's about to get cancer, so we're going to go ahead and...
Yeah, they drop him when he's 11 years old.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's when I need it.
That's when I need it.
Not when he's 2. You know, he's fine.
I paid you 11 years building up for this.
This is back to the government taking over for the mob.
Yeah, it's better when the mob ran things, I think.
Let's get the mob running things again.
Please
you know
kill someone with the mob and people would understand it.
Yeah, they had it coming.
I think I would vote for a politician that was like, I got some guys. I'd be like, okay, this I can get behind.
Hey,
like
Luigi. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit above board. Like, we know, okay, he admitted he's doing something shady. We don't want to know the details.
We all know the rules. It's not right, but at least they're honest about it. You know, like,
100%.
They're not full of shit. They don't pretend to care about you. You know, like,
yeah.
I'm in this for the money, but by the way, these are the rules. Oh, okay. Not like politicians. Like, we really care about the constituency, and then they just steal. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Come on.
Well, I love when people act surprised.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're like, the government. Yeah.
Oh, they're the most corrupt people on earth. Think about it. The politicians are just actors without any real talent. Just ugly actors.
Not even good comedians.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they were any good,
Joe Biden was close.
Oh, well, inadvertently.
Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Him and George Bush, maybe two of my favorite comedians.
I was fond of him when he was in office because he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And after office, it's even funnier.
I know.
He got his like watercolors and shit. Like he's the only president never to do a speech for money after his presidency. He's like, I got enough money. I'm gonna go my ranch in Texas, clear some brush and watercolor paint. He does self-portraits. It's fucking great.
Does he really?
He does portraits. I want to get a watercolor portrait of a self-portrait.
I just got an image in my mind of him wearing his aviators doing a portrait.
Oh my God. When he got it, because he was a pilot, when he got out of the plane with his little crotch thing. He stuffed the thing.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But
it was also mission accomplished. We were there for 10 more years.
Yeah.
The big banner, mission accomplished, and then we just fought for another 10 years.
Just 10 more years. Don't even talk about it. It's fine.
Fucking, don't worry about it. It's bullshit. No, but I was going to ask you, speaking of, like I said, to get off death, go into birth, are you going to do one of these LA water births with a midwife, or are you going to have go to a hospital
and
get an epidural and be legitimate?
I'll be at a hospital.
Thank God.
I haven't decided on an epidural yet. I don't know.
Well, you'll decide in the pain of the moment, I would hope.
I'm worried that I'm going to,
they're not giving you fentanyl, so you're not going to get hooked.
They do give you fentanyl.
During childbirth?
That's what an epidural is.
What?
Yes. That's what I just found out. That's what
really? Has it always been that?
Yes. That's what made me question.
No shit.
Like, do I want to do that?
I had no idea. I thought epidural was like something
fucking fentanyl, but
different.
I can't have a Tito's and soda the entire 9 months.
Yeah, I can't have a glass of wine my entire pregnancy, but at the very end, I could have
Yeah, you
heavy.
just have, like,
I could have heroin right at
hard
the
narcotics.
right at the end. Yeah,
Like, what the
right
fuck
at the end,
is
just
that?
hit my vein.
Government lies to you. I'm telling you. Like, did Dr. Stephanie tell you this?
Oh yeah,
Like,
so you can't have fish. It's like what are all the people in Japan doing? They eat sushi every day. Like you tell me women in Japan don't eat fucking raw fish when they're pregnant?
yeah, fuck off.
Yeah,
Like,
I
fuck
can't
off.
imagine. Like,
This is why I think I maybe have a problem with alcohol, because people are like, have you been having like crazy pregnancy dreams? Like when I was pregnant, I had like really clairvoyant dreams, very meaningful, and I'm like, sure. Last night I had a dream that I drank a Tito soda at a bar in quiet and in private, and I woke up when my glass was empty.
and I enjoyed it
And
thoroughly.
I loved it. Best dream I've ever had.
I'm clairvoyant.
But sure, yeah, I'm having very Mother Earth dreams right now.
I don't like the woo-woo stuff out here. It gets a little weird. People are like, oh, it's like, come on.
Well, everybody's like, when's your birth date? Like, when's your baby's birth
Oh, like
date?
that fucking matters.
Like, they already want to do like a fucking star chart on my baby. And I'm like, I was like, I think it's August 26th is the due date. And so they were like, oh, it's going to be a Leo. You're fucked. Oh, wait, no, it's going to be a Virgo. You're going to be okay. And I'm like, what's the difference?
The moon rising is a Sagittarius.
I'm going to hold that shit in until like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I can't have it be a Leo.
Yeah, one day over.
What is that?
Well, what I love doing is when people like,
Yeah.
if you're dating out here, you ask girls, oh, what's your sign? I just make up I'm a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
And then I'll let them go for half an hour telling me like, oh yeah, that means you're this, that, and this. I'm like, no, I'm actually a Taurus. This is all wrong. Like, but they're so sure of themselves. I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. Like, I was never that.
Sometimes I want to believe it, and then sometimes I'm just like, it's...
Well, it'd be nice to have a reason for all your fucking problems.
assholery.
Yeah.
For
I wish I
sure.
could blame something other than
And
just
then
my general
Aquarius,
personality.
that's why I'm so aloof. Like,
Yeah, I wish I could
no.
blame it on something else other than my personality.
Yeah, I think
No
like
such
a
luck.
lot of my symptoms are just like, you have ADHD. Like, and that's...
Yeah, you're emotionally disturbed.
You're
so
a bad
that's
friend
just
because
on
you have undiagnosed
That's just on
ADHD.
you.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, we're coming a little bit. What time we at, buddy?
You're good. Oh, you're at 55.
Oh, nice. All right.
Really
So,
well.
yeah, well, a good podcast, you lose track of time.
Yeah.
But toward the end, I like to do a little news stories, and it's not actually anything important. It's just news that I find interesting. I'd love to get the listeners or my guests' take rather. And I got some real bangers for you.
I'm excited. And scared.
And scared. Why are you scared?
I don't know.
If you're this. Oh, Mike, you've probably seen this. A French woman was scammed out of $850,000 by someone pretending to be Brad Pitt.
Okay, I saw this one.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So a French woman was defrauded of over $830,000 by scammers impersonating Brad Pitt using AI-generated images and messages. The deception began when she was contacted by someone claiming to be Pitt's mother, followed by a daily communication from the faked actor, including poems and declarations of love. Over 18 months, the imposter convinced her to send over $800,000 and to divorce her husband. Now...
Husband got off the easiest.
Yeah, right. Well, I hope he got more than $850,000. If she gets $850,000,
I feel like...
but she knew it was Brad Pitt. Like he's one of the most recognizable people on earth.
I'm sorry. I just feel like she kind of deserved it. Is that
Yes.
bad to say?
No, in this instance,
I know believe
it's
women...
not even a good con. This is
just
so blatantly
like,
terrible.
honey, he should be giving you money if he's Brad Pitt.
Yes, he needs $850,000.
Why
Brad Pitt
does
has
he
$800
need
million.
your
What the fuck does he need?
$850,000, and
If she agreed to give him the money, the guy should be able to keep it.
thank you.
I'm
I'm
one of
sorry.
these people.
That's just
Like I've read an article.
again, car people are assholes.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just the truth of it. Like a few years ago, I read Google had been paying fake invoices that somebody sent them to the tune of like $140 million
I heard
over
about
3 or
that
4
too.
years. And the guy got brought up on charges. And I'm like, no, Google's a major corporation. They fuck people out of money left and right. If they can't keep track of their books, that guy just got over on them.
Yeah.
It's not a scam. They agreed to pay the money. It's not like he held him at gunpoint. He just asked for money. And if I ask you for $10,000, you hand it to me. You can't say I robbed you.
No. Everybody knows the Nigerian prince scam.
Yes.
Like, this guy just took it to the next level as Brad Pitt. I saw some of those images, though. They were fucking
Brad
funny.
Pitt, that's even more unbelievable than the Nigerian prince.
So fucking funny.
Like, everyone knows Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like, he needs $850.
Why was he in the hospital? Like, there were a lot of the pictures I feel like he was in.
He needed a kidney transplant, and somehow he didn't have the money.
And it wasn't on TMZ.
Yeah, it wasn't the biggest news story on earth that Brad Pitt needed a kidney transplant.
At least she didn't, like, give him a kidney.
Oh my God, that
Could you
would have
imagine?
been so much better.
She like puts it in a cooler and she's like, "What's your address?"
Yeah, she like flew to LA
yeah.
and like got a fake surgery and
Yeah.
he sold her kidney on the black market for extra money. God, how sad it is though. How desperate are you that you think like
It does make me sad.
it's a little,
But also,
it's hilarious. It is great. It is great. And also, finally, a woman got tricked. You know, usually it's a woman stealing from a guy. You know,
yeah, I know.
Getting over on a rich guy.
I know.
This time, he got over on her. Good
She just
for him.
sounds like a lonely lady.
I know.
You know?
I should reach out to her. See.
You should.
I mean, all I need is 8,500. You know, you got me for 1/100th of the price, babe.
You're a bargain. You're a bargain.
Yeah, and I'll actually come meet you. You know?
Yeah, you could actually meet her in person. I feel like you could also be like, well, I know I look a little different in person. Like, she'd probably buy it.
Oh yeah, well, if she's that gullible, she must be completely fucking a simpleton.
I think you should do this.
Yeah, I'm into it. I gotta find her email. I'm gonna look her up. This one's actually interesting because you're married, kid on the way, and I think it's actually a good idea. But it's a thing that's going around. But more couples are living in separate homes to quote unquote preserve their relationship. An increasing number of couples are embracing living apart together, a lifestyle where they maintain separate residences while remaining committed partners. This arrangement allows couples to spend quality time together during the day while sleeping in different homes or different bedrooms or having a flexible and independent lifestyle. Research indicates that around 10% of adults in Western nations practice living alone together situation, citing resources such as different work schedules, personal preferences, or the desire to preserve their own space. Now, you were telling me you've been with your husband for about 5-6 years total?
Yeah,
right?
that sounds very, I think Helena Bonham Carter and Tim Burton did that. They lived on the same street in two different houses. She lived with the kids in one house and he lived in a different house.
I think
they still got divorced.
That's how you know relationships are tough. Even when you're not together, I still don't want to be with you.
Yeah, fuck that person. Yeah. I don't know if I'm still like in like an early phase of marriage, but I really like sleeping next to my husband.
Yeah, that helps.
Like,
but I do think there has to be a level of independence, like in the sense that I don't like dating women who have all the same interests as me. Like I want her to have something that's just hers, and something that I do like to do off on my own because then you always have something to talk about. Like,
I think that's important.
How was the thing that you like that I don't like? You know, how that like. You know,
I think that's really, really important, and then also making the time to talk to each other.
Well, that's the thing. You have something to talk about and
those
talk
things.
About it. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Well, I mean, I will say sometimes like I'm a hot sleeper.
Oh.
Or like we go to bed at different times, and we have like a really nice guest room. Yeah. So like sometimes one of us will like sleep up there for a night, and and like occasionally we'll do that.
Yep. I like to fall asleep in front of the TV.
Like an old man, I love that.
Yeah, but I don't have a TV in the room, so I'll like let's go to bed. Like, no, I'm gonna nod off out of here, and then I'm gonna wake up.
All men fall asleep in front of the TV. By the way,
very soothing.
Like even an action movie like Top Gun, and you guys are just out.
Oh my God, I fall asleep to fucking murder mysteries and shit.
Yeah, so peaceful.
Yeah, just that's a little serial killer action while I doze off.
Like I know people say men lie, but like the biggest lie they tell is that they will stay awake during a movie.
Oh yeah. Like, especially at my age, shit, I fucking fall asleep in the opening credits, man.
Instantly, and it's just...
I watch movies over 4 days in 25-minute intervals. Like I'm not watching all the way through anymore. Fuck, who's got the energy for that?
Like I will just watch Squid Game without you. Like the shit's going down. Like I can't watch this in pieces.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna hold up for you.
Yeah.
This last one. I didn't choose this because of what we talked about with your mother, but I think there might be something here. Teen finds out the anonymous internet bully who harassed her for years is actually her mom. I was like, wait a minute, is this Sam?
Okay, I think this is good parenting because this is a good mom. I'll tell you why. Because kids aren't getting bullied in school anymore.
It builds character.
So she's rounding out his education. She's like, he's not getting certain things in school.
Yeah.
Bullying. I'm going to give that to him myself.
It's low-level conflict that's not really meaningful, that prepares you for actual conflict in life. You know, like, it builds a little bit of a thick skin.
You don't have self-awareness until, like, you get bullied.
Yeah. Yeah, and kids, that's one thing kids are really good at, finding your weak spot. Oh, my God, they're vicious little bastards.
Kids could stand to be bullied a little. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it builds character. But it says a teen from Mount Pleasant, Michigan started receiving online hate. But the culprit turned out to be the last person anyone expected, her own mother. Kendall Gale Licari, after a years-long investigation, it was found that Licari was charged in 2022 for literally like 6 years of cyberbullying.
6 years?
Could you imagine? Who the fuck has the time to dunk on your kid for 6 years?
Obviously not a Jewish mother.
That's what I'm saying. A
Jewish mothers just do it in the home.
Yeah, will bully you in person at the dinner table.
100%. No. So my mom growing up, one time, like when I was younger, like I was eating with my mouth open. She put a mirror in front of me and she's like, "Look how ugly you are when you eat."
Oh my God.
Like this is like
just giving you a
thank God she did that.
Just giving you a body complex.
100%. Well, and then my other favorite one that she did recently, like now we're grown, we're moved out of the house. And, like my mom's one of my best friends. Same for my sister. Like my mom's one of her best friends. My sister calls me. It's like 11 o'clock at night. She goes, "Mom just direct deposited $1,200 to me, for forehead Botox."
Wow.
So she calls my mom and she's like, "Mom, did you mean to send this to me, or like were you like trying to pay someone for
someone else, the actual Botox professional?"
Right. And she goes, "Oh, honey, I just think you should treat yourself."
Yeah, your forehead's looking pretty fucking rough. Obviously, here's $3,000 for fat camp this summer.
Yeah,
what?
What? Yeah. She also told me, she was like, you'll start feeling and looking better in your second trimester. I was like, I look haggard too.
Yeah, right.
I thought I was doing a pretty good job hiding this.
Is this her first grandchild?
No, it'll be her fourth grandchild.
Okay. I was gonna say she's dunking on you and you're carrying her first grandchild. What a fucking battle axe.
So my sister's also dunking on me too, but she's fucking hilarious.
Well, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
She's so funny, my sister. So she goes, because my husband's Bolivian, so he's darker skin.
Yeah.
And so my sister is pale blue eyes. My brother's pale blue eyes. They both married people, pale blue eyes. So their kids, they're like little.
So you have the swarthy little kids.
Copy paste. And so my husband's like, "Our kids are gonna have big green eyes." And I'm like, the only dominant trait I have are my thumbs. I have weird thumbs.
And my sense of Jewish guilt.
And that's it. Like they're gonna get IBS and weird thumbs.
Yeah,
that's
they're gonna
like
have anxiety
strongest.
and weird thumbs, and otherwise they'll look like you.
But they're gonna look like you, so they look like they shouldn't have that.
Yeah, they should look well adjusted, but they're not.
Yeah. So my sister was like, "I'm gonna get mom and dad a brown baby doll, so they can start getting used to."
Oh my God.
The idea that they're not gonna have it.
Oh my God.
And at first,
I gotta have your mom on the podcast.
I was like,
I'm booking your mom.
Stephanie. Yes, she's the best. And I was like, that's so fucked up. And then like I thought about it, and I called her, and I was like, please do that.
Anything, make her a better person. Sam, so fun. Glad I finally got you.
Yeah, this was super fun.
Where can people find you?
Instagram at Sam Grody. I'm not really anywhere else. I mean, you can find me in comedy clubs.
If you need a car, go to.
If you need a car, come find me, I guess. I won't plug my family's business.
No, because this is not going to be good for their sales.
No.
So much fun. Glad I finally got you on.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for having me. This was super fun.
Yeah, it's easy stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Of course, follow me at Randy Villa, or follow the podcast at Ready Set Blow. All the shit I should say at the beginning, but never do. Love you guys. Peace.